All right, just outside the Outlook now. And this, I believe, actually has a name. There's a trail with a trail name here. Pit Viper. All right. Now, I was up here prior to completion of the rehabilitation here. And my big complaint, even before they were done working on the quarry, was that it was next to impossible to get to the campground that was just about completed up here. When I was last up here a year ago. So I am going to see, you know, I slept on picnic benches in my Ramada at Fort Dickerson across from the Civil War site, but they have now put in a campground here, supposedly, that right next to or right above the quarry itself. Now this campground that they have put in here is accessible by car, of course, but whether it's accessible by foot from the inside the park here at the entrance remains to be seen. So far, this is the status quo here. That leads to the woods around the quarry. But the last time I came up here, like I said, the link from this trail to the campground itself was difficult to get to from this trail, the link to from this trail. And it was also not labeled in any way. Okay. We'll see what today brings. All right, further down the trail, and we have come to a clearing here, which was a favorite of mine when squatting in these here hills, those dem hills. First off, this is this side trail here. It looks like it's actually in pretty good shape. considering the gauntlet and the barriers that were once put up here and that I met with when I first came to these damn hills. See, that path leads to a very private, quiet, simple place above the quarry and above the noise and hassles of the quarry, and at the same time of the park itself. I made a number of posts from here and slept within at the end of that trail. On the ground, no benches provided or water fountains. Or restrooms, or barking dogs, nagging neighbors. And late at night, when the neighbors had gone, I could come out with a 40 or 2 and put on my favorite tunes and revel in the view. Chapman Highway and the hills of Tennessee, the road of which leads to the Smoky Mountain. Chapman Highway being named after David Chapman, one of the primary advocates for making the Smoky Mountains a national park. So, to honor him, back in the 30s or 40s, they named the first highway out of town after the man who was a supply store, I believe, for drugs or such in downtown Knoxville, the way he fed his family. All right, so last up here, I came to pretty much what I'm seeing here. All right, the trail leading to this opening, and then sort of coming to a stop around here. It doesn't look like anybody has put up any sort of signs or signposts of any sort to lead me to the campground, the Fort Dickerson Park campground here. In the day, that trail would lead inward to the edge of the quarry below, and in the day, this would lead to just a field, a wide open field. After you pass this sort of rock motif that said private property, keep out. Not looking private anymore. Let's see what the trail is like here. A year later. It looked really good, actually. When I was here about a year ago, and thinking, wow, they really did a great job with this. It was empty. Pretty much like it looks now here in the dead of summer. But quite something. Let's see what they have. This should be finished by now, like the quarry itself. This is a formal campground. This is where you bring RV, campers, tents, and the such. It is here. That's the good news. For homeless that want to get away from the neighbors, this is the bad news, as I see it, because this is where police officers will either tell you to go if you're up at the Ramadas across from the historical site, or they will arrest you for trespassing, or, well, it was trespassing in my day when I was homeless. Today it's probably DUI. So it's like, or what it was, drunk in public or something like that. That was the neighbor's way, mother's essential workers way of staying above the Game of Thrones crap that was so persistent in the motherland and still clings to you, or at least me, like toilet paper on my shoe today. All right, that out of the way. I might add that since I squatted up in these hills, them hills, this there hills, Tennessee has passed a law which has forbidden camping in public or sleeping in public, or, you know, which I'm sure now the police and or sheriff here running patrols can enforce much more than in the day. You remember 3 years ago. When I found myself up here. Sans tent or pickup truck. Camper. Anyways, I must say, you know, the trail down here has not been changed in any way by the restoration. It is still the same as I remember it. You know, kind of a hike down. To this site, this campsite here. But it's quite passable. Today, if you're on foot here at Fort Dickerson Park, it is quite passable. It is quite doable here. Just remember to, when you come to the fork in the road at that clearing at the Viper Trail, the end of the Viper Trail, you go left, downhill, and not right. And here is your new Fort Dickerson Park campground. Okay. Let's bump this up a bit. The view, again, overlooks Chapman Highway. Or the hills of Tennessee. Now, being a follower of the nomadic fanatic, sort of an RV man about the country, Eric Jacobs, I see room here for campers, but I don't see hookups of any sort. There's a fire pit there. There's a bench there. There's your view there. But I see no water hookups or things like that. That an RVer, perhaps from out of town, may want. Needless to say, this is free to the public. How many stalls? I think 6 stalls. Did I count? Room to move. Pickup trucks around. RVs around. Okay. The access to this campground is not on Chapman Highway. It's, I don't drive, so I don't know the name of the roads. But it's I don't know the road, but it's not Chapman Highway, and come to think of it, it may not even be Augusta Road, which leads into the quarry down below here. But there's plenty of parking here, as you can see. There is campgrounds. There is the driveway from the street, from the public street. to the campground here. And like I said, yes, it is accessible on foot here. So if you ever would grow tired of the Christian shelters downtown, this may be an option for you. I don't know the drinking situation here. I see a hose. I see water. I can't tell. Is water through there or not? It doesn't look. Well, no, it runs into the ground there. Quite sure this is open or not. Oh, okay, so I don't know what's in there. Take a look, tell me. Yeah. Looks like a shower. Looks like a bench seat. I'm used to the one-holer, although I have done time with the two-holer. But that's another necessity. I guess for any children ma, you're stuck with porta-john here. All right, for the time being, because any showers are locked up by whomever is, has a lock. And I, as a former homeless man, 7 years on the streets, quite familiar with what a store-bought lock at Walmart can do to screw up the lives of fellow brothers seeking water. Okay, having just come from the campground there off of Viper Trail, and I just finished talking with the guy in charge of maintenance and gardening at the campground there, and he told me there is another campground right below the campground I was at, that you see at the end of the view there. That is being developed. And so there is plenty of room here, if you're interested in dry docking this summer of 25 at Fort Dickerson Park. There is plenty of room here. And he told me that the water in the showers there that I found locked with a combo comes with a reservation to the campground, which is free. Okay, so this gentleman, and he He's been around. Great conversation with him. He told me, yes, water comes with the reservation, and reservations are free. Okay. Beautiful site. He has sort of kept and maintained. Here, above and around the Augusta Quarry. Also, I learned from this gentleman. Sorry, you know, I'm in the moment here in the motherland, so names are irrelevant to me, as they have been throughout my 3 years of living here in Knoxville as a neighbor, and my 6 years on the streets prior to that. You know, names are irrelevant because people you meet today will be gone tomorrow. But this kind gentleman told me that there is access from Chapman Highway to the campsites above, and so I am walking this to verify that. Boy, that is a good sign too. See that? Yeah. That's a very good sign too. Yeah. There are cameras at the campsite, by the way, folks. So, yeah. So, in case you're wondering about reserving a spot up there and you know, overnight stuff, there are lights there and cameras, security cameras. Now, this is all new to me, this area in here. It has this was not here when I last visited last year the campsites at the quarry and the park, Civil War Park. None of this was here. See, that is access to the campsites, that road there. This road here, I don't know. And it very well could be private. You know, I don't know, and I don't have a camper or pickup truck, so I really don't care. And if you have a camper or pickup truck, know that there is roads accessible from Chapman Highway, which is right up here. At the end of this road. Here. That will lead you from Chapman just down from that formal entrance that I showed you earlier, with the round common area and the overlook. Where's that outlook? Where's that lookout? This is just down from there on Chapman Highway. And follow the signs. And should be no problem. Let me see if I can get you the name of the road here. All right. Chapman Highway. And there's your turnoff. At that, you want to make a right or a left at the Aretha Frankenstein from Chattanooga restaurant. Right there at Chapman Highway and Maryville. Then after you turn on to Maryville, you want to follow the crosses. And keep right to Wrinkle. That's Wrinkle. As in, I'm getting a lot of wrinkles living here in the motherland. You want to make a right at Wrinkles and the crosses. And follow that road down. I advise a pickup truck or a Suburban, and follow the road, the new road, up to the crosses at the campgrounds. Okay, you got these crosses, these pedestrian crosses here. Here, you want to go to the cross on the hill to get to the upper campground here at Fort Dickerson Park and Augusta Quarry.